What's up, y'all? Welcome to Slayton Mobile Gaming. I'm Rich Slayton. Today we're doing something I didn't think I would do after our last video, is we're taking Rend Blackhand into PvP. I did a Maeve Shadowsong video last time talking about a more common meta champion, but we're going to do something kind of fun here with Rend Blackhand, is we are going to dominate the skies and try to make some big, nasty pushes that can be really difficult to defend, especially if you find opponents who aren't really prepared for a full-out aerial assault. So if you don't know Rend Blackhand as a leader, and by the way, before we get started, thank you so much to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video. Really do appreciate the support, and I'm excited to keep on doing more fun stuff here with Warcraft Rumble. Rend Blackhand is a hybrid leader who both has the ability to start in the sky riding his dragon, and then once that DPS happens, once the HP goes down, Rend jumps onto his feet and continues the fight. So some flying, some AoE, you can see some of his damage, and also Gith, his dragon's damage, right? So you see two different categories of both damage, HP, stuff like that. So really, this is a kind of a two-phase hero, which is our leader, which is really fun. The other thing that's really cool about Rend is and why we're doing a flying army overall, is that when he's on the board, all your flying minis cost 1 less gold to a minimum of 2. Now, we're going to have at least one troop in here that doesn't apply to on the flying side of things, but still, this can make you get a lot of troops on the board very fast, which is part of why we're going to kind of play this a little more cyclically than normal. I also am lucky enough to have the best of his abilities here, the Scale and Steel, so he's resistant while flying and armored while dismounted, which makes him a bit tankier, which is really, really helpful for keeping them on the board longer, so we can keep on using that reduction in gold ability to make him more dangerous. So let's go ahead. We're going to play some PvP with Rend Blackhand. Oh yes, the deck. Excuse me. So, this ability of reducing cost by 1, normally you would have at least one more high-cost flying troop in here, but my whole deck's going to be about getting down gargoyles, which are big, nasty tanks, right? Nice gargoyles, and with them, putting behind some harpies, which are some of the best, one of the best overall troops in the game, and lots of good DPS. Now, I have some more flying here in the vultures, who will add in more if they get kills. They're kind of there primarily for cycle and also to attract spells to them and hopefully suck out the spells so they're being used there and more than on the harpies. We're going to try to play them before the harpies if we can. We have the 1 gold Defias Bandits, who are one of the best cards in the game, who are also going to provide some of that same support. We're also going to put them behind Rend Blackhand when he jumps off of his dragon. Then finally, rounding things out with Quillbore for our troops. He's going to do some tanking, he's going to do some attacking, he's going to do some contesting locations when our opponent is trying to mine gold, things like that. And then the Blizzard. We're going to throw some nasty spell power on here. We're going to go ahead and try to get some good control. Mixing that with the AoE of Rend Blackhand should help us really control some big fights in the lane. So let's go ahead, jump into some PvP with Rend Blackhand. Let's go. Ooh, this is going to be fun. This is the first leader I played with a bunch. And I kind of went away from him for a little while, and now it's fun to get back into him a bit and show you what we can do with Rend. So we're against a Maeve deck. And you can see already just trying to get a whole lot of Unbound on the board. And we're just going to slow ourselves down here. We're going to go here. Right, and you see that safe pilot. So we're going to try to, in the future, use our vultures to suck out the safe pilot. I'm going to go and contest for these right now, and I'm going to put these vultures on that Worgen. So already, we're making things kind of annoying for our opponent. I'm going to go ahead and send that down here, and I'm going to send a miner this way. I'm not worried about contesting for this one here on the left, at least not yet. And I feel like they're in a lot of trouble. We're going to go Quillbore here to support this, and then throw the bandits into this lane, and continue trying to play our cycle troops. Look at how much we can get on the board so fast, especially now that we have another Rend deck. And our opponent had to try to stop that with the safe pilot, but now they are in a whole world of hurt. Let's go ahead and just make sure she gets off the board fast. We'll throw some more bandits here, some more vultures here. We'll get a tank down. And now we got this locked. We got this locked up. Your Maeve ain't gonna do it. And we can throw a Blizzard on there too, just to really Doesn't need the blizzard. We don't need the blizzard. We don't come out of the cold. We don't need it. Easy. So super easy. And you can see that they just weren't really prepared for the all-out area. I mean, that was one of the easiest battles that I've ever had in PvP. They just weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for it at all. It was absolutely huge. Right? So let's, you know what? I say let's go ahead and try it out again. Let's just make sure that wasn't a fluke. Let's go one more time. We're going to jump right back in immediately and see if we can't push ourselves up a little bit further, gain some more rank. And now we're up against Bloodmage Thalanos, who is probably the most popular PvP leader in the meta. We are going to go ahead and get Rend on the board. I'm going to contest for this stuff in the middle right now. I'm going to use the Quillbore, look at this, Quillbore, to pull Thalanos over this way and try to get him to engage. I thought that maybe that would stop him enough for my Rend to turn and fight him. Doesn't really matter, but would have liked to get that fight. So now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the vultures behind here and see if we can't get them to double up a bit more and maybe suck out a spell if our opponent has one. All right, and then now we are going to throw just a little bit. That Banshee, I'm going to let that Banshee go ahead and do whatever she's doing. And then we're going to put these on here for some damage. And we're going to throw a Gargoyle in front of that. Let's get right onto their Thalanos. And now we're gonna get ourselves back to another Rend. I do kind of miss the Dark Iron Miner I had in the previous deck I did on the last video. It is really nice to have the ability to contest everywhere, but we are not playing that kind of deck here. We're going to go ahead and throw a little bit of Blizzard on that one. And we're also going to go ahead and start over here again. Control that Abomination. And we're just wrecking shop right here. Let's just do a lot of cycling. We'll get Rend down there again. And there's just no way for him to recover here. There's no way. We got it. GG's. Told you. Not a fluke. Oh, well, actually, you know what? I need to do a little bit more here. There we go. This time we'll finish off with the Blizzard. So here you go. A totally different look at a PvP deck. And honestly, that was an easier fight than one we had with our Maeve Shadowsong deck. Because, at least in this case, at this stage, the players I'm going up against aren't really prepared for an all-out aerial assault. It's not as popular meta-wise. So we're able to just run right on through, get 2 super easy wins. And this is a really fun deck that has a lot of core cards that you're going to want to use a lot, right? And I think that's one of the best things about this deck, is a lot of these core cards are cards that you just want to level up anyway because they're S-tier cards, right? If you're not making any tier list, Defias Bandits are way up high on the tier list. Harpies are way up high on the tier list. I mean, these 3 cards here are all the Quillbore. These are all S-tier cards, and Blizzard's one of the best spells, especially when you're talking about PvP. So you have a lot of cards here that are designed to be, you're going to want in a lot of decks anyway, so leveling them up is pretty nice. Gargoyle might be a bit more niche being a tank for the skies, but Gargoyle's still really great. So go ahead and use Gargoyle, and then, yeah, the Vultures, you can go with a different direction when you start getting higher up, right? You can start working, there's a lot of things you could cycle in. I like having the Vultures here for distraction and for the fact that they cycle so quickly. You might want to switch them out for something different when you start getting into higher levels or start leveling up something that takes advantage of Rend's 1 gold down ability. Either way, it's a really fun deck. I really enjoy playing it, and I'm going to grind a bunch of PvP with it and try to get maybe I can go ahead and push up to a higher level. Maybe I can rank up past Silver Strategist 2 here fairly soon. That would be very cool. Well, I'm going to give that one a shot as soon as I get off this video. Folks, it's been so much fun. Thanks again to Warcraft Rumble for making this video possible. Their support and sponsorship is so great. Your support is really important too. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to bring you a lot more of some of these deck guides and deck insights, things that you might use for yourself when you're playing, and I will see you back here next time. As always, be excellent to each other and party on, dude.